Hey, sorry I'm here so early. I wanted to do an early stream for once in my life. Oh, god damn it. No, don't hear that. Don't listen to it. Don't. Wait, can we hear me? There we go. Okay, anyway. I'm sorry for starting so early. It's just because I never... Wait, is the music still playing? Oh, it is still playing. I never get to start this early, so I'm sort of like taking advantage of the time I have. So that's why they're rushing. So I apologize if it's discerning to anyone. But anyway. Hello, Purple Goop, Cornbread, Austin, Al Vasquez, Ramsey the Artist, William Ellman, Optimus Rimjob. Hello, Ryan Walterson. Whoa, this is a crowd here. All right, I am in this room. Hello. Welcome to an early, different kind of movie crap. I did forget to send out the tweet. Thank you, Cornbread. Yeah, it's been... Hello, a guy named Crystal. It's been a week. Hello, Taco Master. Yeah, I don't know. Scheduling has been a little crazy. Things move around. I misunderstand when times are. All sorts of things like that. So I was like, let's just get this started so it can happen. I don't know if it'll be the longest show, but it will be a show. And I also want people who aren't around usually to maybe check out the show. I kind of think of it. So that's the other reason. To be 100% on that. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a good, since we last saw each other. Yeah, if you, I've been putting out a lot of stuff you didn't see. I think the next one will sort of be I'm not sure when the 15,000 subscriber thing will be. We'll see, but there won't be a stream on Saturday most likely. So this is sort of this week's stream. There isn't a ton of news, and I can't imagine there's going to be enough to do a stream on Anyway, doesn't matter. We're here now. Me and you. We're good. I'm trying to think. Anything that happened? I saw Bad Boys, the movie, the first one. It was okay. I don't know. Not much to say about the original Bad Boys, because I was like, well, I'm going to have to review. I'm going to have to see the third one for the tier list thing eventually. If that keeps going, then I've never seen the first one. And, you know, I don't know. Been watching It's Always Sunny again, and that has actually been really cool, to be totally honest with you. I've really enjoyed It's Always Sunny again. It's really fucking good. Oh! Thumb sweep. Vote for Tom Thumb in the movie review or movie poll. Okay. Well, cheers to you. Here's the Ghost Warheads. Wait, can we... I don't have my... Sorry. Warheads energy drink tonight. Vote for Tom... The movie review vote is open presently. You can vote for whatever you want. I guess I can't tell you either way, but I read that message. So cheers to you, Austin. Ooh. We're watching we watch on later seasons because I haven't watched those as much, but man, still a solid fucking show. I'm trying to think what else, but it's like been a while, and I all day was focusing on what I'm going to talk about, so I didn't think of that part as much. And I'm going to tell my Subway Flyer story, I guess, finally. But I got to say, I think yesterday was Canada. Happy Canada Day to all the Canadians, whatever. I went there a bunch in the 90s. Went there twice in the 2010s to Montreal. Great city. Wonderful place. Wish I lived there. Maybe one day. But happy Canada Day, especially to all the Canadians. I'm not going to out you, but there's a lot of Canadians. I have a good amount of Canadian contingent, let's say. Anyway, since this is small talk, and I will wait till at least 8:30 to really get into it, because I feel like that is fair. Um, I want to tell you about my flyer story. I guess I hope this is good. I hope this is worth it. So, if you didn't know, I have stickers, but they're the same as flyers. They are. Hold on, let me get. Sorry. They are the same as this, and I put these up in the subway. They have the QR code. People use it. Most of the time, I don't look at people. People don't look at me. That's sort of the New York rule. You know, I put these up above. Sometimes you'll see comments in my videos that say I came here because of a flyer on the subway. I also have stickers, but this is a little cheaper right here than a sticker. So and I don't have enough time to do stickers, as you can tell from my video schedule and stuff. Time is always really hard. You know, I don't have any free time really, so it's easier on my commute to just put up a few flyers on my way to work. So it works out, and it's nice and it's easy and all that stuff. So normally, you know, I look around, see if anybody's weird or any, you know, get bad vibes. But I put flyers up and I sit down, and this one lady comes up to me, and she's like, is that for TV repair? And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm sorry. It's for something else. Don't worry about it. And she will not let go of this. She keeps coming to me being like, no, there's a TV. It's for TV repair. And I was like, no, it's not. It's not for TV repair. And then she starts a debate with me over my flyer, which is super weird because I already said no, like several times. Like several times. She keep going on and on about how I'm an electrician and other people are looking at this and I'm trying to like duck, you know, away. And then she takes the flyer out of where it was and goes, what does this say? Does that not say TV repair? And I go, no, it says movie reviews and cartoons. It's for my YouTube channel. And she was like, oh, well, I actually didn't bring my glasses today. Despite that this is bad handwriting, I'll give you that. But she's like, I didn't bring my glasses. And then she gets other people and goes, well, this looks like it could be TV repair. And I'm like, I guess. And she goes, what should I do about TV repair? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not, what? And then she was like, well, are they good movie reviews? And I'm like, I think so. And I go, or are they cartoons for kids? And I was like, not really, sorta. And she was like, oh, well, they should be. What use is this for me? And I was like, I guess not. And then she just crumpled up my flyer and I got off the subway. And it was the only time I've had... One person came up to me and I was putting up a sticker and was like, what are you doing? That's not okay. And I was just like, no, it's okay. You don't need to worry about it. And she did want to worry about it. So, cool. Anyway, all right. Maybe that was not that great of a story. I apologize. Maybe I should just talk about normal stuff. All right. Rude. Thank you, Nathaniel Foga. There we go. All right. I'll just talk about a few video things. One, I forgot to talk about this last time, but my Pixar Brain Trust video, the only reason it is not in the shorts category is because it was a little too long. I felt it needed the explainer because I figured most people would not know what the Pixar Brain Trust was. So that's why it's sort of like it is in short format, but it is not officially short because if you didn't know, with the YouTube rules, you have to be you have to be under a minute. So that was not, so that's why that is, but I still wanted to make the video, so whatever. I am doing okay. I'm not sure if people actually were, whatever. I'm not sure what's going on. Is this your chance to run a Mr. Plinkett type scam? Oh, maybe. Wow. Okay. A Subway sandwich story. What? It's ridiculous. Yeah, let's deal with that. The compilation things, some of them that are older, I used every story I had. Some of the newer ones, like I'm working on one and I made a compilation edit and then that's too long to be on the YouTube Shorts thing. That can be in compilations later. So I'm kind of figuring that out. It'll probably get better as it goes along with those things. But I put out the Spielberg one. I don't know if there'll be another one this month, but I'm going to make one as sort of a backup because, yeah, that's the deal. A flyer from Subway. I got a flyer from Subway once. It was a Subway I used to go to. And they're like, fine, you can use it. It's for new people. But That's my real Subway Flyer story. I know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to. Daffy and Wacky Land, I guess. Nah, Spice World. I feel like I have stuff coming out tomorrow, and I have stuff coming out. Yeah, I have some stuff. I have an interesting one with I'll explain later when it comes out. But you might be getting 2 videos tomorrow, which would be cool. Anyway, it's been a weird week. It's been crazy. It's been hard to schedule stuff, but I feel like I've been putting stuff out regularly. Regardless, I am working on the TV Glow review slowly for whatever reason. Then I'll do the tier list thing. Superman. My Adventures with Superman. Really fucking good right now. The last 2 episodes, the one previous was really good. This one, which was about Jimmy and Lois and how they get to space. What message got flagged as spam? I'm lost. Anyway, that one is really good. It's very different from what a normal show is, but my daughter Sophie's been really into it. I got her because of the nice people at the comic book store. We found her a Supergirl Girl of Steel comic, which was cool. But what's funny is, okay, here's my thing about comic book stores. The comic book store we go to, which is called Anyone Comics, very helpful. Anytime I'm like, we're looking for this, they find her a comic. I have no issue with this comic book store. I want to say this. But it's very clear the whole industry is geared towards me and not towards kids anymore. And like that is the weakness, because it's like every time we have to search, we have to get somebody involved to like find her a comic. When I was a kid, there were Barbie comics, there were this, there were that, and it's just like so many different. I'm just like, how do we go from like so much selection for kids to like barely any? And they're like, man, I hope comics survive. I'm like, you guys are not putting in the effort, really. It's sort of ridiculous, because I went in, they're like playing MF Doom, and like I think it's great, but it's like you need to appeal to the kids too. And I feel like I like the story. I think they do a good job, but I think the industry itself should have more comics for kids and of all genders. And as much as people complain about Comicsgate or wherever the fuck, every time I'm in there, I'm like, you guys bitch and moan. There's like 2 issues here with a girl on the cover. Are you fucking shitting me right now? It's just like, it confuses the hell out of me. Maybe I'll do Superman vs. Clint. I'd be interested in. Oh, hey, Botman. I'm glad to see you here too. I don't know. I do think comics should be a little more accessible. That's kind of. I feel like they are not trying, and I feel like when they do try, and it's not an immediate success. Like Moon Girl is like around in spurts, but not fully. And it's like, I feel like there's like a lot of opportunity there, with comics if they tried. All right. I think I said everything I was gonna say. I have some cool. I'm doing more of I think the compilations and figuring out there's other ways I can use this thing has inspired me to make more of was almost in and stuff. I'm sorry they went away for a little bit. It's not just because of X-Men. It's also because a lot of the people I tried to look up didn't have enough things. Although part of me was like, maybe I should have done Kirsten Dunst. I tried to do Ryan Gosling. I ran out of time. But there was like, the problem with that series is it relies on people who have been in Hollywood for a decent enough time. Like Chalamet, I'm surprised I got to do. But like Sydney Sweeney, I don't think has like 3 rumored. I couldn't really make a video on that. So anyway, I think it depends. There probably are months where it's just like no real older people or people who have enough of a career to make a video like that. So I don't know. Maybe I should do ones on older stars. Anyway, let's move on. I apologize for blamming on about content thing. I went to Governor's Island. That was fun. We watched Roger Rabbit, and that was cool because Sophie's seen more of the classic cartoons, so it was actually fun seeing her notice all the classic, know who everyone is. We don't have to explain everything. You know, she knows. She's like, oh, that's Betty Boop. That's this person. They do have a lot of like, I don't know. Sophie was noticing you can see like Bugs Bunny type characters, and I was like, is that like the Harvey Toons bunny or something? I don't know. Anyway, Roger Rabbit's great. Perfect screenplay. Robert Zemeckis in the 80s, fairly unmatched. It's pretty like probably him and Rob Reiner are two directors, very commercial, very blockbustery, but we're so good at it in the 80s. And then it's like, what did they make after that? Like, it's like, I don't know, they fell off a fucking cliff. It's so disappointing because I really like those periods of both of them. And it's like, the Mermaid Parade was good. Coney Island's great. If you ever go to Coney, I was getting a lot of Coney Island questions. I wasn't sure what the. Anyway, I think I do a Coney Island video every year. Little Fugitive. I reviewed the Fatty Arbuckle Coney Island short. Anyway, let's get into the real show. But before, well, the Rabbit Harvey, they referenced that in Roger Rabbit. So there we go. Oh, we watched a lot of you know, we're watching more cartoons because of MeToons. I'll go into a MeToons thing, but I have noticed that has increased our watch, and we watched a bunch of Oh, here's one thing. Okay, before we get in here, yes, Roger Rabbit in Chinatown and Robert Town died tonight, so that also, but it is Little Kid Chinatown. But here's the other. Okay, so here's the thing. Before Roger Rabbit, I was like, let's watch some Bugs Bunny, let's watch some Mickey Mouse. So Bugs Bunny, fine. Unfortunately, I have to have the ads on Max to save money. No ads on Max. It was fine. We could, I think maybe one. It was really unnoticeable. Disney, okay? Every short, a minute and a half ad. Every one. And then in some, the minute and a half ad during the short. And the short's 10 minutes long. And like, look, I know on YouTube we put the ads in and stuff, but it's like I already watched an ad I can't skip. On YouTube, I don't have to watch that long. And it was like, this is a short. Like, you made this so hard, and it was so hard to find anything. And when I typed in Mickey Mouse cartoons, like the band concert, which is a classic, didn't even come up. And it had like, I think it had maybe 2 ads in it. It was really horrible. Like, Disney does not make it easy to watch classic shorts at all. And that's really a shame, because it's like, you could have, like, you control all of this. And it's like, you can't just have a section for it. Like, they really just want you to watch the new Mickey Mouse. They do not want you to watch the old ones, which stinks. It's like, well, why do you have them then? Put them on Tubi. Give them a good, I don't know. It was a really shit experience for the Mickey Mouse. With Looney Tunes, I think we ended up watching more of those because Disney was so horrible. It's like, whatever. Anyway, they a little bit, but not too. It wasn't. Judge Doom wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Okay. This and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through super chats during the show, where I will drink this amazing Ghost energy drink, not affiliated with that band who I'm not that into, but other people are, I guess. Anyway, sorry I went on that. I will drink energy drink if you give me a super chat during the show, or you can click on the link for my Patreon, where you got all sorts of cool stuff like DVD giveaways. I'm doing 2 commentary videos this month. I'm actually going to do a throwback commentary for a throwback also. That's going to be cool. You get more power in the movie review vote. You get postcards. I'm doing a DVD giveaway. All sorts of cool stuff is coming up if you are a patron only. Exclusive content, all that neat stuff. And it helps me continue to do this, continue to keep the lights on, keep people fed, all of those wonderful things. Make content, make stickers, make flyers, all of that awesome stuff, if you're financially able to do so. If not, just liking this video or subscribing helps out. Leave a comment, whatever. But if you're just here and you're just watching and you're like, this is just what I do, man, I don't want to all that stuff, then that's fine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. I think that, yeah. Okay. Also, there's the Discord, which is a great community. Hello, Romham. I'm liking doing this early. I see a lot of cool people. All right. Yes, where were we? The Discord, which is linked below in the description, is a great community. They have everything from the licensed playing card channel, which I posted these recently. They also have general, where I ask like what they want me to talk about on movie crap this week. They have movie watches. I'm not sure what they're going to do this. Maybe I'm a little too early for that. They're watching Top Secret. That's awesome. They're watching Top Secret together. They do suggestions for me. There's an Ask Jim channel. There's movie discussions. There's all sorts of stuff like that. If you like everyone in this chat right here, and you're like, I would like to hang out with them, you can on Discord. It's the Discord server I am the most active in. No joke about that. And anything else, I guess? I have a Instagram, both personal and the Reels. I have a TikTok. I have a Tumblr. I have a Twitter, which is the thing I'm most active on. I have a Facebook fan page, and this thing, which I already asked you to subscribe to. So, I would suggest, because it's not going to be, I'm sorry if I'm e-begging. It's just the life that we're all in, unfortunately. If you want to do a super chat, I would do it early, because I do not know how long the show is going to go this time. So I'm just telling you that. I'm not, apologies. This is the life we're all in, I guess. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to drink some water. It's a good energy drink, we'll say. I should stop it with the ghost, I know. But also, there's no segment tonight. And the Obit section will be a bit long. And if I can do a break between Obits and questions, that was when the break will be. I think Buster might want to get out. Buster, how are you feeling? No comment? Okay. Anyway, all right. So Eddie Murphy has revealed. We started recording. He actually says Shrek 4 in this quote. But he says, I am assuming he means 5. Shrek 5 months ago. I did this. I recorded the 4-sack, and we'll be doing it this year. We'll finish it up. Shrek is coming out, and Donkey's going to have his own movie. We're going to do Donkey as well. So we're going to do Shrek, and we're going to do a Donkey movie. So here's my thing with this. I do believe, like, if it wasn't true, Illumination would have... This has been a few days. Sorry, I forgot to apologize for the stream that got canceled. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes it's hard with kids and scheduling, and I apologize. Actually, that sort of sucked. But anyway, I think this is what is happening. I do think, what's happening with Chris Meledandri and Universal, and he owns DreamWorks and Illumination, it'd be silly for them to have DreamWorks and not launch Shrek. I expect for them to, hey Zoidberg, I expect for them to have regular sequels, because I know they're already talking about Kung Fu Panda. I know they're already talking about Shrek regularly, and it would just make the studio better. Now, the one thing, and I think this will become a constant thing here, is I do wonder, with this emphasis on sequels, are we laying the groundwork for effective animation franchises? Meaning that, are we making originals that can be, then, you have to make originals. You don't get an Inside Out 2 without an Inside Out. And it feels like I'm hearing less hubbub about that. Now, maybe that's because it is hard to, if I came on here and I want to talk about, oh, hey, Jordan, how's it going? And I want to talk about, like, DreamWorks signed a director you've never heard of to do a movie that maybe sounds interesting, sort of. Like, no, like, you just can't get, nobody's going to care. I'm not trying to blame the audience. Like, I wouldn't care either. Nobody's going to click on that. So some of that is we're not really hearing as much. But I do wonder with, is Universal and Illumination, DreamWorks, all that going down the same road? We'll see. I mean, Illumination did try with Migration, which I think did better than, like, Wish or something like that. So hello, Jordan Bouchard. I do think this will happen. I'm surprised they let Eddie Murphy say this, but I'm assuming, I think Eddie Murphy's Eddie Murphy's. He's going to do what he wants, but Illumination would have shot this down and they did not. So I do think something's going on. Oh, do you think we'll ever get a Bug's Life 2, Jordan Bouchard? I think that is, I could see, you know what? I could see, I don't. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with Disney Plus. Cheers to you, Jordan. I think, the days of that are kind of over. Like, that was, I'd say, like, let's say the Willow era of streaming. I'm sure that's what we all call it. Where they're just approving things and trying to get as much IP out there. I don't think it would be a bad idea to follow it up, but I don't think it'll happen. I know that was a joke question, but I tried to answer it for seriousness. It is interesting with this thing is seeing Eddie Murphy sort of make a comeback. I'm curious about Axel F. I don't know the sequels as well. Part of me is like I should. Part of me just wants to rewatch the first one because I think the first one, Beverly Hills Cop, is really good. But it's interesting like how much this is bringing people out. It shows like the strength of that original film. But I also think like he knows like his two big things are Beverly Hills Cop and Donkey from Shrek. I don't know. I just hope the concept for another one is good because I do feel like the first two get what a Shrek movie is, and 4 is closer to that. But I'm like, I think you could do another Shrek. Like it's been long enough, and you can have the celebrity cameos and like. I think that could work nowadays. I think it's like now it's not as unexpected. I think that's the big difference. It's like how do you do it so it doesn't feel like just another animated film? How do you make it feel special? I think that would be the real hard thing. To be honest with you, like how could you make it different? Because when Shrek 2 did that like Hollywood joke and something, there were some cartoons doing it, but it wasn't as it wasn't revolutionary. But like especially with the first one, that felt very different. And I don't know if you could do that unless you're really thinking outside the box or something. So I'm curious what the concept is. With a lot of these, I'm like, what's the concept? Because unless you have a different concept, like, what's the fucking point? Why should we even do it? I don't know. Everybody remembers the George Lucas cameo in Beverly Hills Cop 3. That seems to be the big one. Eddie Murphy is a Star Wars and a Star Trek connection, but not really, unfortunately. But he wanted them. Not his fault. It's people around the studios. All right. So Maxwell Adams, not from the Addams family, but the guy who created Billy and Mandy, reveals in a comment about the Jellystone 2-part crossover. He said, "We put in as much as we could. We also had to cut ourselves off around 2008, which is when Cartoon Network officially died." Okay. I wish he hadn't phrased it like that. But here's what I think happened here. One is a lot of those guys got kind of gutted during the CN Real era. Not a great era for Cartoon Network. I think there's still maybe some hurt feelings about that. But at the same time, let me just say this. I think there has to be a cutoff because I think that era of Cartoon Network, which, from like, let's say Powerpuff Dexter starting till about 2008, that is one era. But the era that replaces it, Adventure Time, regular show, all that stuff. To me, my issue with how people are using that era now is just that I think that no one's nostalgic for that yet. It hadn't, like, you're probably watching this and going, I'm nostalgic for it. I'm like, sure, okay, but not, you're doing it too early, is what I'm saying. You got to wait the 20 years. Because, yes, look, I've been nostalgic for Regular Show since the second Regular Show ended. I love Regular Show. It's an amazing show. Same with Adventure Time has not really gone away. Let's be honest. But I think I'm not really taking what he says that seriously, to be honest. I get, like, it's a joke. But I do think, like, that era of Adventure Time Regular Show needs to have a sense that it went away, and I don't think that happened. Did it? It didn't happen. So what I think is it's good that they're not there yet. I think towards the end of the 2020s, I wouldn't mind seeing more Adventure Time, regular show nostalgia, and I think the nostalgia will be more positive because I think for most regular people, Adventure Time has gone away, basically. It was everywhere. Now it's not. But I am not against it in that era. I just feel like there has not enough time has passed. We need more time. I mean, it's like they were in their like biggest thing like about 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's not enough time. So I think like in 2030 we can talk about that era of Cartoon Network nostalgia. Presently, I just think it makes sense to cut it off there. I think people made too much of a thing out of it. But people don't like it. I've noticed in cartoon communities when people go, "No, fuck that. All of that shit is bad." Except for the '80s cartoons when I grew up in. I've noticed like almost every animator is like, "Man, that was the dark ages. That shit sucked." And like even the people who like him, like, look, they were not good cartoons. Like, no, I love He-Man, but man, those cartoons are garbage. Like that. That seems to be the only era. But I just think people don't like that. But ultimately, it makes more sense because with the, Jellystone has enough characters in it. To me, it's like, oh, you mean it's going to be less cluttered? That's fine. So, I think that era will come around. You just got to let people be nostalgic for it, But that's my take on it. Anyway, so we're going to talk about. I'm sorry I'm blowing through these. It's not because I'm worried about time, actually. It's because, not a ton of stuff. Hold on. Weekend. Sorry, bringing up the box office. So we're going to talk about Inside Out 2 and what's going on because it's honestly crazy. We're just going to talk about Inside Out 2 and then talk about the box office in general. But I think the thing with the box office right now is it's a perception thing. Because you look at these numbers and you go, movies are back. And in the immediate sense, yes. But I agree with people, like I said before with DreamWorks. Pixar needs to prioritize originals. Elio 2 should be something they should be trying to make sure Elio is good enough to have a 2. Or what are we doing with Turning Red 2? Or what are we, you know what I mean? It's like they need to start thinking about that. As much as this is going to become most likely the second highest grossing Pixar movie, it's going to outgross Frozen 2 if it hasn't. I think it might have today or tomorrow or something. It's an absolute juggernaut of a movie. But I think they need to think about not Inside Out 3, but Elemental 2 or things like that. Or Lightyear 2. I'm joking though. So this is the 7th movie with the second weekend of over $100 million. The last time that happened for a second weekend was Avengers Endgame in 2019. It had the biggest second weekend for an animated movie ever. No movie with a second weekend of $100 million has made less than $600 million. So last weekend emphasized that Inside Out 2 will make $600 million at the box office. I'm curious what Despicable Me 4 does to all this, but we'll see. And it hasn't really dropped that much. Like last weekend it was 33%. This weekend it was 43%. That's not huge, especially for the weekends it's like pretty minimal. People are majorly checking it out. And now it's made over $1 billion internationally. It is the eighth best third weekend of all time. And third best of the decade in the recent years. And with this, the other thing I found interesting about this whole thing. So there was that thing where it was like, here are Disney's $1 billion animated movies. And it has mostly Pixar. The only Disney, there's 8 movies, I believe. Yes, 8 movies. 5 of which are Pixar. 3 of which are Disney animated. The only 2 originals are Disney animated films, which is Zootopia and the original Frozen. Everything else is a sequel. And most of it is Pixar, which shows that like Pixar is so that important to Disney because, more like to a degree, they have almost double the $1 billion movies that Disney animated films. But I will say the one thing about Disney animation that as much as we're, hyping up Pixar is like, it seems like if they do an original film that hits, it can majorly perform because people expect to watch an original movie from Disney. Like they expect a Zootopia, they expect Frozen or something like that. But I think this shows you have to sell things. You have to set these things up. But the other thing before we get into the box office last week, ticket sales have gone up 26%, but they're actually 21% behind 2023. So we are not doing that much better. But at the same time, This is the first time since Barbenheimer where two films, 1 and 2, made $50 million at the box office. So, like, there are positives, but we're not, like, the box office is not doing as well as last year, which is not good. So, I do think, and I'll go through, there's a lot of good things about the top 10 box office that are positive, that are good for the industry and stuff. But at the same time, box office, like, ticket sales are down this year in compared to last year. And you can talk about all whatever fucking facts you want. And I do think, like, July is going to be really big, but I like the fact that it's overall down. Like, to me, it's like August is kind of barren. Like, yes, Beetlejuice happening in September. Yes, I do think November is going to be nuts, and we'll get into that a little later. I think there are positives, but if we're being for real about this, it's not. I think there are too many, like, empty spots. They could have reorganized this better. A Quiet Place Day One probably should have taken Fall Guys slot or something like that. There's certain things that could have been done that I don't think were done correctly. And also, the Cricket World Cup, I was wrong. Apparently, it's not the soccer; it's the Cricket World Cup you have going on. The strikes. There's a lot going on. But number one, again for the third weekend in a row, Inside Out 2 with 57 million. Having the third weekend, I think it's like, I forget, but Avatar is the only one that made like 64. Avatar 2. But Quiet Place Day 1 made $52 million in its opening weekend, which is great. Horizon, an American Saga, the Kevin Costner movie, didn't make that much. I don't think it matters to Warner's because they didn't pay a ton for it. But also, Kevin Costner's, most of his audience is going to take a while to get to that theater. So I'm actually a little more curious. Older audiences, in general, for everything, take longer to watch things than younger people. That is just like a stat that never goes down. It's not an ageist thing, it just happens. So if it's an older audience movie, I expect the audiences to go there. It takes them longer to get there. So I don't think we'll see. We'll have to wait and see with this one. But there's another one coming out in August, so I don't know. I feel like this will do better, like, on TV. He probably should have made a streaming TV deal, but I know he didn't want to. There were two Indian films, Kaliki 2898 AD, which opened at 5th, and then Jat and Julia, which is a follow-up to an already franchise I've never heard of, opened in 10th. And we're seeing, like, that's a whole different market. I think that's what we're going to see more of the box office is outside the Hollywood stuff, whether it be anime or Indian films and stuff like that. We're going to see more of that going on. There's just nothing... There's nothing to stop that at this point. And then, is there anything else in here? Something to stand for with Mike Rowe? What the fuck is that? Is that a real thing? What? Join America's favorite storyteller on an epic journey to the heart of Washington, D.C. The cinematic tour de force will take viewers to the front line. What the fuck is this? Isn't that the Dirty Jobs guy? Or something? Why the fuck would you watch? Jesus, what is wrong with people? Whatever. I don't understand. Okay. Anyway, going down. Okay. The last spot, which made, can you guess? Can anyone guess? You cannot guess. This film made $23 at the box office. $23. It is Benal and Adama. It is a young couple in Senegal must contend with the disapproval of their remote village. $23. Okay. All right. Good for that. $23. Number bottom at the box office. $23. $300. Normally it would be, K-Master. Normally it would be. Austin went too low. I don't know. I'm not as good enough on Price of Right rules to say if Austin or K-Master won. If anyone knows Price of Right, you can declare that. Austin said, cricket. Nobody understands cricket. You know what a crumpet is to understand cricket? I don't understand what Austin's saying, but cheers to you, sir. Bottom line, the overall weekends are good. I think what we're gonna really wonder is, after a couple weeks of Deadpool, and the Crow. No, I'm joking. Uh, I'm curious where we'll be once the summer subsides. I think that is really the real bellwether for what's going on. I don't think we'll know until that. But right now, it's not good. It's not good. So we did learn since we're talking about release date stuff, Wicked moved up to November, up a weekend. It's going to open the same weekend as Gladiator because it wanted to make room because it was supposed to open the same weekend as Moana 2. This is something I've been talking about for a little bit. To be honest, if you watch the show, that there's no way Wicked is going to survive Moana 2. I actually think Wicked should move back to around Christmas and try to do the Wonka thing. I think that would probably be the smartest move. However, it is not doing that, and it came out a weekend earlier. I think it's like you're delaying the inevitable, which is like, I don't know. I think a lot of things... I think a lot of things with this is just like, I think there's a lot of things with the movies right now where people think, no, I think it could do it. I think it could do it. But I think it could do the Wonka thing if it came out in December, but it can't come out in November. But I think like we're having this problem where people cannot get their fandoms out of their fucking... They have their fandom head so far up their ass that they're not really thinking. It's like, oh, well, is Superman worried about Fantastic Four? Is Wicked worried about Moana 2? But if you ask a regular fucking person, by the way, like, they're like, no, I'm going to see Superman. I don't know what Fantastic Four is. No, I'm not going to see Wicked. I'm going to see Moana 2. Now, the theater people are like, oh my God, a Wicked movie. I'm like, yes, to this small minority who clearly is very into the entertainment industry, but outside of that, you need to see the flower from the trees and know, yes, Superman most likely is going to do better than Fantastic Four just because of name recognition stuff. Yes, Moana 2 is far bigger than Wicked, but like they don't want to admit that, and I don't exactly understand it. I think it is a bit of a mistake. Oh, so wait. Kornberg brings up that Sonic 3 and the Lion King prequel are coming out around Christmas, which is that's they should have not had Wicked's it's going to be tough for Wicked, let's just say that. All right, so two sort of DC things we have. What is your... Wait, is that what you're saying in the super chat? Is that from the 1991? Oh, I can hear it now. You gotta know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. I can sort of see that. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a crazy day and whatever. All right, so we saw Superman on set photos, which continue to leak, which makes me think it's not a leak because it seems to happen a lot. Anyway, with cricket, with the Superman set photos, I like what we see of Superman. I like what we've seen of Lois Lane. Who's the other guy, Mr. Somebody? He looks neat. I don't know who he is. But with Superman, I actually like the costume. It looks cool. Seeing the stuff I've seen, I'm like, okay, makes me more excited. I do sort of think it's planted at this point when I saw people do when I kept seeing it leak and stuff, like when I saw Lois and Superman holding each other and floating and stuff, I was like, this might be planted. But at the same point, I get it. They had they had Christopher Reeve's son has a cameo, which I thought was actually really nice. I still think whatever his scene should be, I think he should be walking by. He goes, not my Superman. And you know what? It's not. His dad was Superman. He gets to be Mr. Terrific. I'm sorry. I do still think My Adventures with Superman, I would hate to be making a Superman movie around that because that is so fucking good. But I think it's a cool suit. I like everything I saw. It makes me hyped. The one thing I've said it before about James Gunn and other places, but if you look at his filmography, other than Slither, everything he's directed has been a superhero movie. Like, he is like the most superhero filmmaker of all time. So I do think he's a good superhero filmmaker. You know, other of his big superhero films, the only one I wasn't in Guardians 2, but everything other than that I really like. So I think he can do it. I think he gets that this is a big deal. So we'll see. But I think Superman, I think that has the potential to be bigger than people realize. But we'll see. I haven't seen a trailer. I haven't seen him. I did watch Pearl, so I saw corn sweat and something. You can hear the fireworks out there. All right, so the Batman Cape Crusader trailer. I finally have seen a Batman thing. I gotta say, this is not that exciting of a version. It just looks like animated series, but a little different, but not enough. And I know people are defending it, like, no, but like this is different. There's stuff they couldn't do, and like another thing with this is the animated series with Kevin Conroy and stuff. They kept doing like movies and other stuff like for a while. I think the Batman and Harley Quinn thing came out around the first Suicide Squad. So it just doesn't, in my mind, like, again, like they should have let that franchise have a break. But we are with it, especially Batman and Harley Quinn was not good as I recall. But I just didn't think it was like, what's so different about this? It just looks like a dumber version of animated series. I'll watch a few of them, but I really wasn't convinced by it. I don't have an issue with the voice acting. Again, I like Christina Ricci as Catwoman. I think is cool. But like, give us a different version of Batman. Like, I do feel like one of my issues with Batman adaptations presently is like everyone's idea is like, well, what if Batman's dark? And you're like, I mean, that's like, what? Like, why would I don't... I feel like they need to do something different, and they just keep doing the same shit with Batman, and it sucks because Batman's a cool character, but like, you know, that was my issue with the Batman. It's like, okay, it's all right, and like this is the same thing because I think they said, oh, it's not Batman year 1, it's like Batman year 2 or 3. I'm like, isn't that the same as the Matt Reeves movie? Like, what are we even doing? Like, I do not get that. To me, it's like, do a detective thing and like make it sciency and like the 50s and stuff, or make it funny, or, you know, the reason Batman Beyond could happen right after Batman is because it was different, and like I think people forget that in terms of characters, but we'll see. All right, we heard Denis Villeneuve has a release date in 2025, I believe. I didn't write down the year, but it sort of doesn't. Denis Villeneuve, Canadian filmmaker. Happy Canada Day, Denis Villeneuve. Where is his? We're not getting. Okay. Well, anyway. Whatever release date it is, he Jesus, why is it not coming up? Okay. Never mind. So we learned that there's a new Denis Villeneuve movie that has been dated for December 18th, 2026. It's described as an event film. It'll be in IMAX. Everyone, of course, went, oh, it's the new Dune movie. And I was sort of like, where are you getting that from? That's not what they said. I don't understand why they would announce Denis Villeneuve over Dune first. I think he's a cool filmmaker and stuff, but I find that to be very presumptive. I thought he wanted to take a break before it, so I think people are just like, want to hype this up, but it is the same time, around the same time as the new Star Wars, and people are saying maybe Dune's bigger than Star Wars and all this stuff. I don't think it's another Dune movie, to be honest with you. I think it's he wants to make, if he's smart, he doesn't make another Dune movie right away, because you want the hype to build up, and you want to do what Christopher Nolan did, which is like, whatever you think of Christopher Nolan, he was smart about doing like, let's do Inception after Dark Knight and launch your own original thing to be a box office person. Like, that was a very smart career move for him. And if Denis Villeneuve launches a big event movie that's not Dune, that is successful, he can be a bigger director and not, you know, a Blade Runner was a big movie, it didn't make big money. This could make big money at that buzz. So to me, it's like, I think it'd be an actual mistake, because if he wants to be the guy who directed Dune for the rest of his life, sure. But if he doesn't, then he should make his own thing. But again, we don't know what it is. But I just think, like, wouldn't you announce Dune? Why would you announce Denis Villeneuve? I just don't. I don't get it. All right. Is that everything in there? So Danny Antonucci. Is this the thing everyone wants to talk about? I hope. I don't know. You know what? I don't actually know what Danny Antonucci sounds like. Should I just do his whole quote in a New York accent? I feel like I should, right? He's probably from New York, right? Isn't he? Okay. Here's Danny Antonucci reading the paragraph that everyone's talking about his thing. Here you go. I would love to see Lupo in stop motion. I spent 2 years developing that crap. A Lupo project for Netflix. Then at the last second, they said, can you change the PG-13? Now Lupo has always been an R-rated project. It's not for fucking pussies, you know what I'm saying? So after 2 years of doing storyboards, I just couldn't do that, you know what I'm saying? Before that, Warner approached me like a bunch of chumps. Approached me to do my own version of Scooby-Doo. You know what I'm saying? He's from Canada. I ain't from Canada. Yeah, New York, Canada. Just fucking, you know what I'm saying, bro? Anyway, so Warner talked to me. They said, you want to do your version of Scooby-Doo? I said, I really want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. Never mind. I read that wrong. I really didn't want to do it. But they talked me into it. And after a year illegal, they fucking canned the fucking thing like a bunch of idiots. Assholes. That frustrates you as an artist. But it's still, I love to do an animated thing on the Lupo. If it was done right with the right people. I'm a big proponent of animation and have adored it all my life. Anyway, so that was a great version of him. The Lupo thing I didn't realize he was still doing. I did a review of that forever ago. You can check that out. I think that would be a cool show. And yes, that is very R-rated and weird, so I don't think you do it. I also think animation creator versions of... No, it's different than Tommy Tubi somehow. They're different. You could tell. I did it a little different. I don't have that many voices. Okay, guys. Sorry. I'll read this different. Hold on. I'll make it more Canadian. I would love to see Lupo. Oh, sorry, Yahuza. There you go. Canadian. Nailed it. I think... No, seriously, if you had, like, let's do Craig McCracken Scooby-Doo, or let's do, various different animation creators Scooby-Doo, I think that would actually be a cool place to take it. So I'm not against that. I think that would have been cool. But the fact that he kind of doesn't tell you what he wanted his version of Scooby-Doo to be, which is unfortunate. I think that could have been a lot better if he had made his, we learned like, oh, it was Scooby-Doo, but it was this or that. Could have been cool. So I feel like people are going to come home soon, so it's going to be harder. So we're going to try to go through some stuff. Let me see here. Wait, where were we? Okay, let's do some Marvel stuff. Are you ready? Okay, I think we're going to run out of time. So now is your super chat time, I guess. So Marvel has announced they're coming back to Hall H at Comic-Con, which means nothing to the most of us. But at the end of the month, if you're like sitting there and you're hearing the news, you're like, where are the Disney Plus shows? That supposedly is going to be at D23. All the movie stuff is going to be at Hall H. That is the plan going forward. So if you're like, what's going on with X-Men 97? You don't need to tweet that. Don't tweet that. You can, but don't for Comic-Con. That's weird. Just wait till D23. That's when all the things are. So I think that could be actually beneficial to differentiate them for the brand and stuff. I think it was getting a little confusing. We don't know what's going to happen. People are like saying, are they going to cancel Blade and stuff like that? We don't know. But we know that differentiation. The other thing is there's been strongly by multiple reporters that the Russo brothers wanted to come back for Avengers 5 and 6. and Kevin Feige said no. I think this is probably, and a lot of people have insinuated, and I agree with, that the Russo brothers, and this is probably why they're not going to get a big like theatrical movie, which they haven't. They have not since they left the MCU, and I think the reason for that is because their budgets have been very out of their budgets. Like I think they had that 300 million thing we talked about last time, that Netflix movie, and that if you're a studio that's releasing theatrically is very not sexy. Like same with Zack Snyder, especially like those movies are not hitting. Like they made a thing with Stranger Things viewer numbers, then maybe there'd be some debate. But like same with what I was talking about with Zack Snyder, where it's like he fell off pretty tremendously when his movies didn't perform. They spent a lot of money. The studios are looking at that and not in the right way. It's like you're kind of given this golden parachute at Netflix, but everyone's like, but do you actually know how to do that? And like, but the Gray Man, yeah, the Gray Man didn't do that. We're not seeing things from their other properties. And it seems like Marvel has looked at them as kind of like, we did that, but we're kind of done with you. And I am kind of curious. If you look at their stuff they've done, it's pretty clear Marvel boasted them up with their previs and stuff like that. And my long theory has been that they're actually not very good. You know, that Marvel got their direction style to work and no other studios figured that out. That's my theory. The other thing is we learned a lot of, there are two Max original shows originally. The Harry Potter show and then the what was the other one? The Green Lantern show. Originally they were going to be Max originals and they've changed them to be HBO originals. Now, I think branding matters, but I also think nobody fucking cares. And I think the problem with that with that is people believe the HBO Max, the HBO brand makes it more prestigious. I really don't think it changes much, but hearing that the Succession people are behind Harry Potter, fine. Hearing Lindelof is behind Green Lanterns, sure. I think that was the bigger news. I don't think most people care. I think it is just like corporately the Max original stuff. None of it really took off, and they were trying to do stuff with Soderbergh, and they're trying to do this, and none of it really blew up. And so they're like, well, we sorry, this is a boring industry story, but I just found it interesting. They made such a big deal, like, we have to make these HBO things. I'm like, I guess, guys, is my thing. All right, trailers. Trailers. I mean, yeah, I guess it does. It means something linear wise, but anyway. Trailers. So here are the trailers this past week that wasn't Cape Crusader that I want to talk about. We saw the trailer for Here, which is the Robert Zemeckis thing where the camera stays, supposedly it's a fixed camera, in this living room, and we see everything from basically dinosaurs to when these two white people get old. And it's going to have de-aging stuff with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and it's a reunion of the kind of Forrest Gump dream team of Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, and Robin Wright. I think it could be interesting, but I do agree that Robert Zemeckis cares too much about his stupid like technical crap to make a good movie. I don't think he's as interested in that, to be honest with you. I think I think this could be a cool story, but I think it's a better short than it is a movie. It's not really a movie to me. It's like, I don't know. I'm a little curious about it, and like I liked I think the walk part, the part where Joseph Gordon-Levitt is French. And he's like, oh, I'm Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, I hate stupid Americans and they are Big Macs and they're so stupid and fat. Not like us French who drink wine and don't eat big McDonald's. That's like half the movie. If you saw The Walk, that was half the movie. But when he's actually doing like the walk part, that was incredible, actually. I saw it in IMAX. That was amazing, but everything around it was like fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt being like, "Oh, I am a French performance artist. What if I walk between the towers and comment on how you Americans so fat with your stupid Big Macs? You think you're so good." Another super chat Ross has said, "Do you think the dwarf from Rescue Rangers will be in it?" Wait, what? What is that? What? In here? Or which movie are we talking about now? The thing that Seth Rogen said. Yes, I think it will. I think it will. Sorry. I guarantee you Zemeckis did not think that's funny. Zemeckis is the only thing I will say, him not making sequels to Roger Rabbit and Back to the Future is, I don't want to be an annoying guy or anything, but that's based. You know what I'm saying? Cheers to you, Austin. I think I got there. All right. We got the trailer for Nosferatu. This looks really cool. It kind of reminds me, it's trying to go for a silent film kind of classic vibe. Nosferatu, of course, is when you can't get the rights for Dracula, you make up your own random shit. That's actually why Nosferatu exists. I think it'll be cool. It's cool Willem Dafoe's back because he was in Shadow of the Vampire, which I've actually not seen, so maybe I'll review it around that time, as well as with the Klaus Kinski Nosferatu as well. I'm very excited for this. I like that director. I think The Witch is really good. I like The Northman. I'm excited for this movie. I think it could potentially be a breakout. But I do think it's weird it's coming out in Christmas. I don't know if that's an awards play or something. And it is like a high budget horror, which I have. I think everyone gets a little nervous about that because horror can do well, but like you need a lot more money, and horror doesn't normally do that. But I do think what worked for him last time is The Northman actually did really well on VOD and actually helped like his career. So I think like that might work out because I think there are, families see movies together on Christmas. Not all families have little kids in them. And I think that could work for it. But at the same time, it's like you're competing with The Lion King and all this stuff. So I don't know. I think the holiday season is tough, man. So I don't know about all that, but I hope it works out for it because it looks like a cool movie. We got the Day the Earth Blowed Up trailer, but it was in German because nothing about this movie, like we can't get a release date, which I don't know where you would even put it out at this point. I don't think this movie's coming out in America this year. Like, are we for real about? Like, I've just given up on that idea. But it's nice that we can see some finished animation of it. I would watch this shit in German. Give me Daffy Duck in German. I will be. I don't need subs, bitch. I will watch that whole movie. Do not doubt me. I'll review it too. I'll be like, I don't know what happened, but I had a great time. That's all, folks. I don't know. But we did see the trailer German. It seriously looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited to take the kids to that. We're all going for that one. I hope it comes out soon. I forgot to mention The Lighthouse. Thank you, Jordan Sloff. I didn't see Jordan Sloff. I didn't say hey to Jordan Sloffalo. How's it going? I'm sorry about that. Hello, Juan Don Natty. Hello, Ramsey the Artist. Hello, everyone. Sorry. Oh, hello, Spencer Presley. How's it going? Other trailers. We saw Flight Risk, which looks like a cool movie. You know what? I'll give Flight Risk the benefit of the doubt because the concept-wise, I wouldn't mind watching it at home. But it doesn't look B enough. It's like Mark Wahlberg. So it's like they're trying to get a witness. They're trying to fly in a plane for a mob thing. And they have Topher Grace, lady from Downton Abbey, I think. And then Mark Wahlberg's the pilot. And so then they find out he's an assassin trying to kill Topher. Okay, Buster. All right, hold on. I gotta let Buster out. That they have to. Okay. Now Tully's like, what the fuck? You didn't let me out? I didn't. I don't know why. Nothing against them. And then they have to, she has to take him out, and then she has to fly. I don't know if she knows how to fly. To me, it's like if you had Jason Statham or something, like I would be more hyped for this. But like Mark Wahlberg, I know people like Mark Wahlberg, which is like not a thing. And then Mark Wahlberg's bald in it, so like whatever. It's a Mel Gibson directed thing. I think they sort of I think there's a thing like Spielberg and Lucas and John Carpenter had this thing where it's like, I'm going to direct a B movie at an A level. And that's basically how our blockbuster system is all about, basically. And I think sometimes people go a little too A, and you kind of got to stay in the B still. And Spielberg's very good at balancing that out. Mel Gibson, right now I don't feel that way with this trailer, to be honest. But I'm also not like a big Mel Gibson direction dude, regardless of his stance on so many things. I never really was, even Braveheart, pre Passion of the Christ. So, not my thing. We got a trailer for said the horrid Paula album from Ryan Thicke had just turned 10 this week. Okay. Well, thank you for the super chat. It's funny. I'm not a big Robin Thicke when he broke out. Cheers to you, 964. But the one he did with Pharrell, Wanna Love You Girl, with the weird drums, and I like his When We Get You Alone. I like those songs. And then when Blurred Lines hit, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I was disappointed. I don't know. I feel like for everything that made that guy interesting was producers and not him, which didn't he do? Did I say Ryan? Anyway, I apologize. Robin Thicke. Apologize. We'll redub it later. It'll be fine. I used to, I don't know. What? Yeah, during the Blurred Lines thing where it was like, did you have any creative involvement? It was just like, I was just really high, dude. No, I didn't. I was like, wow. He fell off so quick, and they had been building him for a decade. But he seemed like he sucked. All right. We got the trailer for The Red One, which is the movie when The Rock pissed in a bunch of bottles, and it looks like crap, and it looks bad, where like Santa's disappeared. He's played by J.K. Simmons, and he's ripped, and everyone's predicting that J.K. Simmons, the Santa plot is Santa kidnapped himself. Whatever, I don't care. Chris Evans is in it, doesn't matter. We got the trailer for Kite Man, which looks Kite Man but owns a bar and has the Cheers logo, which was creative. I'm not probably going to watch it, but it looks like it could be cool. And then the trailer for The Critic, where Ian McKellen plays a theater critic who, like, I don't know. It looks like a fun... I'll see a thing about a critic, and I like that he's a sassy critic who, like, shits on this actress all the time and is, like, manipulating. I find it interesting because I consider myself a critic, so I'm interested. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, because I think people are going to come home, and then I'll have to end this, and that will suck. So I'm going to do the obits because I want to spend some time on that, and then we'll just go back, if that's okay with everyone. I'm sorry, my life is the way it is. All right, because I know this is like a major tone shift, but I really want to spend some time on these people, so I apologize. All right, so first off, and this might sound like I'm joking, I never met this cat, but I heard Lion, who is the inspiration for Lion from Steven Universe. Ian and Rebecca's cat died today. It seemed always like a nice cat. I've seen countless pictures of this cat, just the online ones and stuff like that. But raise a glass to Lion, a great outdoor cat. A great outdoor cat, and a great cat to some cool people. I want to talk about Sarah Becker. She was on Real World Miami. You might know, yes. Sorry, which was the Real World after London, where they made them get jobs because no one in London did anything. She was an editor at Image Comics. I was into Real World London a lot. I didn't know if I will be watching it again, but I watched it because of her. To me, she was like the ultimate cool girl when I was like 12. She worked at Image Comics and she got to be on the Real World. No one was cooler to me at the time. If you're like Image Comics was lame and stuff, I was in elementary school, so whatever. But I was sad to learn she passed away. I think it was last week. She was a big inspiration to me as a kid, and apparently she actually did do some stuff in Snyder, which I didn't know. I just thought she like was there. I didn't really think about it, to be honest with you. But there are multiple people who wrote in comics talking about all the pretty significant things she did, which stinks that she was undermined in such a way, because a lot of people I know, oh, she was just a cool girl who like did stuff in Image. It seemed like people didn't know that, so, or maybe just the people I know. But regardless, I always thought she was a cool inspiration to me. Robert Towne, who wrote Chinatown, is considered one of the best screenplays of all time, died today. I think he's one of the great screenwriters of our time. I think he even wrote for Mad Men, a really great screenwriter. If you've never seen Chinatown, do yourself a favor and watch that this week. That's your excuse to watch Chinatown. You will, and if you're like, I don't know, watching 70s things, Roger Rabbit is entirely based on Chinatown. So if you will be able to watch another aspect of Roger Rabbit, if that helps. Martin Mull, who I know most as Roseanne's boss, passed away. And Gene Parmesan. I think he was a great comedic actor, and he will be sorely missed. So, I might have to actually just take a break after this, because yeah. So Howard Beckerman died on Saturday, to my understanding. Howard Beckerman was, to my understanding, the longest serving animation history teacher ever, is what he told me. He taught for so long. Leonard Maltin was his teaching assistant, and actually in his classes where Leonard Maltin met his wife, I believe. And they've been married for a long time. I projected for Howard Beckerman for about 7-8 years. I was at that job later and I'd check in on him, but I was in that class for about 7-8 years. He was, most of what I know about animation history is from him, and he was a true like genius in terms of teaching animation history. If you know any animator who went to School of Visual Arts, their animation history teacher was him. In fact, if I met someone who's an animator there, I would say, and particularly the years I was doing it, like Vizzy Pop, who did Has Been Hotel, I know she took that class. I know it, because is it named Vizzy? Anyway, whoever created Has Been Hotel, when I met her, I said, I was the projectionist in Beckerman's class with the red hair, and she goes, oh yeah, I know you. So and I know Ian and Rebecca took his class, if that's your next question. Anyone who went there, I don't know if anyway, a lot of people were taught. Tom Sitow, a lot of major animators were taught animation history by him. He actually got me into a short which I thought about reviewing, but I really want to go into Satamana, which he gave me personally because I love the short so much. Just a DVD which he made for me. But he was a real inspiration in terms of like explaining animation history, but also showing that there's a love to movies, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily show when they show animation history. They try to counter, especially film history. They always try to be different, and he wasn't about that. He's like, we're showing Yellow Submarine, and he was like he saw Snow White like when it came out originally. And I asked him, like, why, do you ever not want to play the newer stuff? And he was like, he liked playing Yellow Submarine because it reminded him of his kids. Like, he liked playing the newer stuff because he wanted to make sure everyone had the context. And he would always talk about, like, he wished he knew more about anime, even though, like, he was there when Akira first screened. Like, he was, like, in so many New York animation moments that it's, like, you can't even talk about animation history without him. Like, there's so much I understood about animation from him, and like learning about Otto Mesmer and Felix the Cat, learning about like he had the Times Square films that Otto Mesmer made that I don't think I've seen anywhere else. Like he was a real lover of animation, and his films, oh my god, he made this film where it's just a box and a square, and he would just, based on the audience reactions, you knew who the bad guy was and who the good guy was. Like, he's a really smart theory guy. He was a smart guy talking to someone. He had corny jokes, but he I don't know. I was, there's certain film history teachers I'm very lucky to have had, and I think he might have been I think he was the best one, because there was so much of animation history that I didn't know what UPA was. I didn't know what any of that was, and I didn't get to take it as a student. I got to be there for years projecting for him, and I'm just really happy I got to experience that. And look, he was in his 90s. To be totally honest, like, anytime he was majorly late, I was like, is this it? Is someone going to come in and tell me, like... And I thought when he did die, I would be, like, better prepared, which I was not, which is really funny. I was like, man, this is like... You think, like, the amount of times I thought, oh, he's not coming in, and it's like, the subway was like, Jim, I'm here. Like, the fact that, like, when I messaged people, everyone was like, "Jeez, Beckerman." Like, everyone had this, like, great impression of him, or, like, I could always introduce myself and be like, "I work with Beckerman." And I don't know. I think if you ever have a job, and I think, you know, money is very important, obviously, and we all need that. But if you ever have a job where you're a part of something that you're really proud of, that's the best. And I was really proud to just be a part of that legacy for like 7 years. Was one of the best things I've ever done. So I'm lucky what I got out of it, but I'm also happy that I got to be like a very small part of that and help those people. Like, I did project for her who did Has Been Hotel. I got to do those things, and I didn't teach her that. I'm not acting like it was me, but I like that that he was. There's certain film history teachers who teach film history, and that is cool, but there's very few who I know who taught animation history, who showed it to people who I then saw make animation history. And I can say that, like, look at, you know, what happened with Rebecca, look what happened with Has Been, with Tom Sitow. I mean, that's an amazing career, you know, Ian, all that stuff. And I'm sure there's a ton I'm forgetting. Anyway, if you ever get his book on animation history, it's one of the best. He was a real inspiration to everyone, and I think he was a real lover of animation history, but he was really good at explaining it to everyone and welcoming in new generations, being open to stuff, which I think most people his age, you know, I showed him I gave him my King and the Mockingbird, actually, and he gave it back to me. He said it was over animated, but he would give you his opinion, but you also knew he fucking watched it, man. Like, it's like that is the one thing I gotta say is, like, when you're older and people are like, have you heard of this? And their opinion is like, I don't, look at those young people, they're fucking stupid, you know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't do that. He would, like, come in and complain to me about the lighting in The Dark Knight for 20 minutes. And, like, why is everything so dark now? It's like, I can tell, and the thing flew up and down. Like, he clearly saw it, but it's like, that was cool. Like, that, trust me, when you're older, don't say, I hate Sabrina Carpenter, what is she wearing? Go, you know what, I didn't like the rhythm in the espresso, but I'm sort of into that. Like, that is a much better place to be. And I think him, and there are a few teachers who showed me, like, you should be able to artistically understand something. That's how you should train your brain. And I think, like, he was one of the smartest people about doing that. And I think that he's able to connect to so many people, like, or what's his name? Michael, anyway, I can't remember anyone's name, but I know, like, that guy who does Looney Tunes, and I knew him when he was in that class, and now he's doing so much. And Beckerman was of course Beckerman was his advisor, because he loved going in that class. Like, anyway, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sad that it's over. His, like, you know, he had an amazing legacy. He had been retired for a few years, But he worked from UPA to like he talked about wearing his UPA pin on the subway and being proud. Like just a really great, really great person. And I'm very happy to have said I got to work with him. And I remember the day I left that job and I got to shake his hand, and he was like, even though I wish I'd gotten a better goodbye with him. He took the time to make it good, you know, which I think not a lot of people can do. So. R.I.P. to him, R.I.P. to everyone else, but especially R.I.P. to Howard Beckerman. All right. Maybe I should end it there. I don't know. I feel. I think everyone's coming home about now, so I don't know how much longer. Let's just do the questions, if that's okay, and then we'll end after that, I think. Yes, that is right. Yes, he was in that class a lot, Michael. He was cool. I really like him. He was a cool guy. I'm happy with what he's done with Looney Tunes too. Sorry I didn't get to talk about Paramount at all. That'll be next time. Hopefully it'll be slow. It has been slow. Let me find the Patreon questions, and then we'll end this, if that's cool with everybody. All right. So. Jordan Bouchard says, were you a big fan of Regular Show Adventure Time and Steven Universe when they first premiered, or when you first saw them? Regular Show and Adventure Time, I'd seen the pilot, so I was kind of prepped for that. Regular Show, I liked I knew the ads I was going to like. I mean, Steven Universe, it's different when you know the creator, let's say. I do enjoy it, but it's different. I'm not trying to say I didn't like it. It's just like it's kind of weird to be I wouldn't say I could ever really be a fan, you know, because you see things about the person, so it feels very different. Same with OKKO. Since I'm in Canada, I wanted to ask what you consider the best thing about coming out here. I would say have some poutine, man. Poutine's good. Beer, stuff like that. Have a good time. Okay, Austin with his iconic, I'll take a drink. Even though this isn't a super chat, I will take a chug for Austin, because it was epic. Last questions. Hey Jim, what a great and iconic show. On the chat, I wanted to see Tom Thumb sweep trending and winning the movie review poll. Anyway, my question is, the best summer movie years are considered 82, 84, and 99. What would you consider the best summer movies years that isn't one of those years? I would say the Fury Road Inside Out year I would put up there. Was that 2015? I would say that. I actually don't think 99 was a good summer. It was a good fall. I've noticed people are saying that. But Matrix was before, and The Mummy was sort of before too. So it's like, I guess Blair Witch and South Park and Run Low. Okay, never mind. I've convinced myself that I'm wrong. All right, Cornbread. Sorry I didn't get to talk to me. I might do a separate thing on Me TV Tunes when I sat with the channel for a little bit. I don't want to just like review it too early, you know what I mean? Like, so like that was an initial reaction, but I would like to do a more full thing. I have other thoughts, but I don't think they have enough time today. Cornbread says, now with Me TV Tunes doing as well as it has, when are you going to do the antenna video game you talked about? I've actually had friends ask me, and I was waiting for your video to support you. LOL. Oh, okay. I'll try to do that. I'm not sure how to film it and stuff, but I will. Okay. Thank you for. I was like, maybe people don't care, and now that I will rethink about that. I'm sorry about that. Taco Master thinks there's a possibility of Me TV branch about old school anime. I would be okay with that. I hope that happens. That'd be cool. Is Maxwell Adams right in saying Cartoon Network died post 2000? I think it was a joke. Anyway, is that everything? Oh, this is a quick questions. Maybe this is a quick movie crap this time. Okay, I should probably go, because it sounds like everyone's out there. And I got my good, I'm glad I got the Obits in there. That was my big thing. Did we start early? Yeah, we did start early. I'm sorry, Panavision. I started a little early, but all right. I think we'll be back next week on a regular time, Wednesday. we're probably gonna do. Sorry, I'm listening to people talk out there. There's probably gonna be. I know there's gonna be. I think there'll be 2 videos tomorrow. Be a quick thing on July 4th and other things coming up. I will be working on the tier list video. But hold on. I did answer your question. Oh, get some poutine, Nathaniel Foga, and have a good wine or something. But poutine, definitely. All right. Cornbread says, with the day the Earth blew up, German release soon. Between the other three, Looney Tunes Project, Caught in Limbo, Bye Bye Bunny, Tuned Out, and Coyote vs. Acme. Which one would you be on? I think Coyote vs. Acme because I know most about that one, to be honest. Austin said, do you remember Tuned Out, the show where Looney Tunes gave therapy? Oh, not really, actually. Oh, Embla T's been here? What? What? A surprise at the end? All right. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Thank you for being here. At least we got to do an early stream once in our lives. I'll save the extra things for next time. We'll do a proper night stream and all that. And I will actually have the timestamps after this. But anyway, happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July if you celebrate or just get drunk and you're depressing that that's the nation. And I'll see you all next time. All right? Thank you very much. And subscribe if you would like to. All right. Peace. Bye. Or, yeah. See ya. Good night.